Hey everybody, welcome to Blitzcast episode, well actually I think it's episode, like 15 or something like that? I don't
know. More than 10, less than 20.
Yes, fair enough. But we're back. It's a new year, January 7th, 2019. We are, what time's kickoff for the national championship game?
Like 10 minutes.
Is it 10 minutes? Okay, well then let's get right into it then, because we gotta get this in before the actual. We
have to make our predictions official before it's insider trading.
Yes, and you know what? I kind of set this up too to just because we are actually broadcasting live right now.
We usually don't do the show live. It's usually live to tape, and then we upload it the day after.
Yeah, and Sean's not here right now, so it's me like running the board and. The live feed.
Multitasking. That turd had to go to Cleveland or something.
Yeah, and usually you can kind of hide it too when it's just audio and like I could have the camera on somebody else. But, we'll deal with it this week. Anyways, Dorf, national championship game tonight. Alabama, Clemson, once again. Why is Alabama going to win tonight?
I think, despite Clemson being, you could argue like the second best trench team compared to Alabama, the difference is so great in the both offensive and defensive trenches. There's such a great advantage to Alabama that even that the quarterback race is arguably pretty square, pretty even. I just think that there's just a little bit more talent up front on both offense and defense for Alabama over Clemson, and that's really going to be the difference. Because I'm really also concerned about Clemson's ability to cover the Alabama wide receivers. Specifically on play action.
Okay.
Alabama's has maybe the fastest set of wide receivers that have ever played college football together. And Clemson by no means is any slacker in the secondary, but at the same time, I just don't think that they have the upper echelon talent to be able to cover them from long period, deep balls, which Mr. Tagovailoa loves to huck around the yard.
Okay.
So I just don't think that that Clemson will just have enough to overcome that.
Okay. What about Clemson? Why is Clemson going to win tonight?
The only way that it's going to happen, I'm not too optimistic, but I think really Trevor Lawrence, if he were to be able to be eligible to come out in this draft, he'd be the number one pick hands down.
Okay.
He is so advanced for an 18, 19-year-old true freshman, just so smooth in the pocket, decision-making solid, and it's not like they're playing a kid gloves offense for him either. Honestly, their offense got more advanced when Kelly Bryant stepped out and Trevor Lawrence stepped in.
Yeah, so they're
gonna have to win the shootout, and Alabama's most vulnerable when you spread them out, but at the same time they do have players that don't need to make plays in a phone booth; they can make plays in space. You're just gonna have to force Alabama into mistakes, and you know what? I would never pick against Nick Saban. Well, usually, period. But with only like just over a week to prep here. I think that's about the one. You never win when Nick Saban has more than a week to prepare.
Yeah, and that's
he's got an extra day or whatever, but or 2 days. I just don't think Clemson has enough, man. I mean, it's going to have to be 400 yards and 5 touchdowns to Trevor Lawrence. I mean, then they're going to win a nail biter, like 38-45 or something like that.
I mean, that's not to say that this isn't going to be a good game.
It will be more competitive than the semifinals, but. I don't remember what the final betting line was, but I don't think it was that close.
Okay, so long and short of it, you're gonna go with Alabama tonight, obviously.
Oh yes.
Yep, I'm going with Alabama tonight too. Again, like you just mentioned, Alabama, aside from quarterback, they're probably the better team in every aspect. So, like I said, though, I mean that shouldn't take away from the game itself. I still think it's going to be a pretty competitive game on both ends. Unlike the semifinals that we saw heading into it. And speaking of which, the College Football Playoff Committee says that the College Football Playoff expansion is quote-unquote too soon.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Well,
happening would be way too soon. Or not way too soon, but too soon.
Okay. Well, he's wrong, and I guarantee even when they do the expansion, they'll screw it up. We here on this at this sports network here are true believers in the 16-team playoff.
That's true.
You will not budge me off that. I have said that before there was even a playoff. 16 or bust. And if there's so many games, talk to the teams in Division 2. Oh, by the way, your Division 2 champ played 16 games. Your division and your runner-up played 15.
Yeah, I mean, there's
come on.
There's no room for
and the
any
FCS
argument.
kids played just that much. So you're arguing that the players with less resources, whether that be academic, like rehab training, all that, less facilities, less funding, are able to play more games than these, who are we kidding ourselves? Professional athletes.
Yeah. And I was going to say, not to mention that the kids in Division 2 or Division 3 or wherever, they actually have to go to school.
Yeah, they are there to play school.
Yeah, they are there to play school. They're not there to just simply play football. They are there to go to school and and compete at a and play their their college football career out. They've got to truly juggle the two the two
they are
things that they have to do.
I still love Cardell Jones, former Ohio State quarterback. That is the best most blessed quote we could have ever gotten from anybody.
And it's true.
I ain't here to play school.
It's true. It is absolutely true.
Ironically, after getting drafted in the league, he came back and finished his degree. So good on you, Cardell.
I don't know. This is just and it's they're saying too it's probably not going to change anytime soon. I guess the current contract, quote unquote, is what they have with this one right now.
Is it with the TV networks or is it with the NCAA?
I think it's just with the NCAA.
Dude, no one is going to complain that there's more high revenue football. I mean,
they've got I guess a deal, a policy agreement. It sounds like set in place right now for the next 12 years.
Oh,
and they don't want to do anything about it. Why? I don't know. Because you figure right now that what is the driving force behind college football?
TV dollars.
It's the almighty television dollar. And if they were to switch formats,
you're not telling me that ESPN, ABC, CBS wouldn't want several more primetime college football games, several more Saturdays. Oh, come on.
High stakes college
football, winner go home. With I would even argue put it on freaking campus. That'd be even crazier, and then you get the even super crazy atmosphere.
Oh my God!
Where you actually have students there. Well, a big, large population, because some students do go, but who are we kidding? It's all the rich kids. But John Q. Public student ends up at the game, and how insane some of those, with all that on the line, how some of those college stadiums could be.
Not only that,
a Saturday night.
Yeah, and
all of a sudden, you know what? Alabama is arguably in this format unbeatable for the foreseeable future. Mm-hmm. Honestly, they're probably going to sign their best recruiting class ever this year, and it's just come on.
Well, that's where you start to raise the question a little bit.
Well, what I'm saying is make them potentially, now as the number one seed, I think you would have home field, but potentially have to have them travel to Ohio State and play a game in the shoe in November or December in the snow.
And that's something
it would be great.
And that's something that Alabama never does.
Yeah.
They
never leave the state.
They never leave the state. They never essentially leave the South to play anybody.
Yeah, or having to, some team from the Northeast has to go play in Oklahoma in November. That would be great.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. And I don't know, it makes you wonder, what is the real driving force behind this? Are they, and we're going to talk about this a little bit on the Majors Live tonight. Is there something else to this? Is the college football playoff committee, is it an independent mindset of individuals truly picking the best teams to represent, not represent, but that play for the championship? Or is this a bunch of backdoor, under the table handshakes that
I'm sorry.
that are happening?
The 4-team playoff just doesn't allow. I mean, you already have, you would say, 5 major conferences. Mm-hmm. And with only 4 being able to have spots, and on years you have teams in classic terms like Boise State.
Yeah.
Or, in the most recent terms like UCF, run the freaking table and not have a shot. Come on. I can understand, during the BCS era when there was that one year where there was 3 undefeated teams. It was Auburn. I forget who else, but Auburn got left out of the national title game as an undefeated team. Mm-hmm. Shit luck, and that would have been the perfect excuse for a 14 playoff right then. But it took another decade.
Yeah,
but I still can't say that it's truly honest, fair competition when UCF's schedule was weak sauce, but they beat everybody on it. And they usually beat teams pretty damn good, like pretty damn solidly. So it's not like they were winning nail biters like the 2015 Michigan State team, whose average margin of victory was like 8, and went to the playoff, and their average margin of victory was like 8 points. Like, come on, like. I don't think it was that small, but you get my point. They're not like like an Alabama or Clemson that should win their average game by 3 scores. Like, you get my point, but I'm not saying that you will still never convince me unless, of course, there's a radical realignment of conferences where it's you essentially go to regional divisions where it's the West, Northwest, Southwest, Northeast, Southeast. Divide up the middle of the country into the quadrants or whatever. Or let's just call them quadrants. Quadrant champion gets to go. And however that quadrant decides to elect its representative is up to it. Unless, of course, you go to just 4 mega conferences like that or something like that where you're setting the best out of your quadrant. Or you don't even... The only problem is if you were to do it on a talent base, especially with how fast college rosters turn over, you'd have to be constantly adjusting that. Which I'm not against. Like... I honestly think it would be great. I understand the reason why you want traditional rivalries, and the last thing you want is to have like 7 teams you've never heard of before roll into your stadium every year. But I understand the need for that, but unless, of course, I honestly think the inevitable destiny is 16-team mega conferences, which takes up the top half of the NCAA Division I, and that problem will kind of settle itself. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like if you're going to keep the conference alignment the way it is now, and then even throw Notre Dame into it, who's traditionally pretty good, can't tell them to join a conference. I mean, you can. They should. But
they should, yeah. And that's...
You can't make them. And at the same time, you're a 12-0 Notre Dame team this year, even though you look at the eye test, was not one of the best 4 teams in college football. They didn't lose.
They didn't lose.
You have to put them in.
Yeah. I mean, in retrospect, yes, you
and you should have put UCF in by that same argument. Your playoffs should have been the 4 undefeated teams.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean...
Now, if there's 5 undefeated teams in the current playoff setup, then you leave UCF out.
But
Fine.
there was 4
4
undefeated teams.
Clemson, Alabama, Notre Dame, and UCF.
Yeah, that's...
You should have put them in.
You know what, though? That makes for a very, very... I mean, we saw what happened this year in the semifinals games. That one would be even worse.
Oh, you know what? I don't care, because then it's settled on the field.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true. That's absolutely true.
It won't make the TV gods happy, because both the blowouts mean, shit TV ratings this year, and I understand that concern, and, money does grease the wheel and make it go round. Come on.
Wasn't it
at least settle it on the field?
Wasn't it at least a little satisfying, though, seeing LSU beat the pants off UCF?
It was closer than it ended up only being a 1-score game.
Yeah, but wasn't it at least a little satisfying? They kind of shut him up a little bit.
Mackenzie Milton wasn't playing. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm all on board. The UCF should have been in because it's rigged.
I'm not against.
I'm not saying. You know what? Honestly, Oklahoma's a better team than them, and I'm not gonna actually die on the hill. But come on, they won all their games.
Look, I'm not against the notion that it is a rigged system, because I truly...
What is? You have to be a member of Power 5 to be eligible to play for the playoff.
Absolutely. Not only that, I think the only time we're going to get real questioning around this setup is if somebody like Alabama is left out. You get Alabama left out, or some real questioning as to whether or not...
Well, now, if you look at it, the Big Ten champ, who you could argue is the second or third best conference in the country, has been left out 3 straight years.
They're not Alabama, though.
Ohio State's had almost just as much success as Clemson and Alabama here in the last 2 decades.
Not Alabama. I don't know.
Nobody else is.
We're going to talk about this a little bit more in the Major Live, so stay tuned for that.
Right after this?
Yep, right after this. We're going to move along, though. I want to switch gears a little bit to the NFL. Talk real quickly about that Philadelphia-Chicago game last night, because first thing that happened was, oh my God, you had with 36 seconds left in, what was it? It was the first half. Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Threw a ball deep right to Anthony Miller, which was broken up by quarterback Cre'Von LeBlanc at the Eagles' 5-yard line.
Hell of a play, by the way.
It was a hell of a play. The way he was able to stay with it and, just the strength, too, to sit there and rip the ball out of a guy's arms who had both hands on the ball.
By the way, under the new adjustment to the catch rule, that was debatably whether or not he caught the ball and was down. That's the crazy part.
Well, that's the thing here, is according to the NFL rulebook, he had control of it.
Yeah.
He had control of it. He took 1, 2, 3 steps. That was...
Then was he down, but they ruled the ball incomplete, and there was no clear recovery immediately.
And
then what do you do?
And that's the thing here. According to the NFL rulebook, if the referee does not have clear and obvious visual evidence as to which player recovered the loose ball or that the ball went out of bounds, the ruling on the field will stand. In the ruling on the field
was an incomplete pass.
The Bears eventually kicked a 29-yard field goal, and the half expired. Whether or not the Bears actually would have went on to score a touchdown in that sense, who knows? You can't sit there and you can't argue
This
that.
is nowhere near as egregious as like the Calvin Johnson or the was it Jesse James catch last year. Nowhere near as egregious or a head scratcher. Mm-hmm. I totally understand why the officials called it the way I did. Whereas those other two plays, I got nothing. I don't get it. But this play, great play by the corner. Man, but you're right. That would have been total game changer because the Bears had a timeout, I think, left still at that point.
I mean,
they would have had a timeout and 4 downs and 30 seconds left from inside the 10.
Did the whistle blow too?
I'm not sure where it did in relation to the ball being pulled out.
Because I don't know either, and if that's the case, then
the only problem is in order for it to be awarded to the defense, you need a clear and obvious recovery, shortly thereafter the whistle, which didn't happen because everybody stopped.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't know. Can't remember if the whistle blew or not.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, and that's usually the problem that you're going to run into in these circumstances is. When do you blow the whistle? Or are the referees going to blow the whistle too early? Are they going to blow the whistle too late? I don't know. But in this sense, it was a very, very odd play. And luckily enough for the NFL, it seemed like they handled it the right way.
Yeah.
Because that's
all you can do.
And that's totally on the teams themselves. Because usually in these circumstances, you do see teams go after the ball, recover it, and start running down the other end of the field. Yeah. That's usually what you see. But you didn't see that in this case. Everybody gave up on it, and the referee went and picked up the ball. Now, whether or not the referee should have picked up the ball is...
They must have... the referee doesn't touch the ball unless, of course,
unless the whistle's blown.
They blow the play dead,
So, I don't know. Very, very odd play that happened. And again, you can't sit here and rest any thought, or you can't have any argument that, if that didn't happen, then the Bears would have went and scored a touchdown. That's something that we've had to contend with here in Detroit. When the Lions were playing
times to count.
Well, especially too when the Lions were playing Dallas in the playoff game, they picked up the flag we've
honestly, you still can't convince me that.
You can't convince me the Lions going.
Look at the officiating in the Dallas-Seattle game this week. It's obvious. Come on, guys. If you're trying to influence a game, don't make it so flippin' obvious.
Oh man. But the other play was the Cody Parkey double doink.
Double doink tipped.
Yep.
Tip double doink.
Tip double doink as time expired to send the Eagles to the
This is the same guy. I'm going to talk about the Lions here again, but earlier in the year against the Lions, he doinked 3 in a game.
Yeah. And he did it against the Vikings, too.
Yeah. Doinked at least one of them
against
the Vikings.
Yeah. Kind of feel bad for the guy. Just because initially everybody thought that he flat out missed it.
Further, frame by frame replay shows somebody got a fingertip.
Yeah, they got a fingertip on it.
And tiniest sliver of a fingertip.
And the NFL today went and reversed the call. They said that it was a blocked.
They took it from just a missed field goal to a blocked field goal.
Yep. And it just,
not that it matters in the score of the game, but
no, it doesn't. I guess it adds a little bit, more peace of mind maybe to Cody Parkey, knowing they just didn't go out there.
He was arguably one of the worst field goal kickers in the league this season. I don't think it's going to get him a job next year.
Probably not. He's probably going to be working. He's probably selling some real estate or something next year because
I bet my bet's insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Isn't that what all former players do? Banking, insurance, or real estate?
isn't that what? Huh.
Well, I mean, unless of course they own like businesses. I mean, you got, for example, like NFL veteran Ricky Jean Francois apparently owns a bunch of fast food places.
Who are the two guys that own the cupcake shop too?
I don't know. I've never heard that one before.
Is it Brandon Arakpo?
He just retired, by the way.
Yeah, I think he owns a cupcake shop. Isn't that new
Does he?
Microsoft commercial? It's somebody else. Him and another NFL player own like a cupcake shop.
I don't know about that one. I'll have to look into that.
But anyways, moving along though, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the upcoming divisional games happening in the NFL this upcoming weekend. There's gonna be some good ones too. First and foremost,
Honestly, if you ask Vegas, though, they're really not supposed to be. I mean, there's a couple of these games that are more than one-score games.
which
Like,
was
the spreads are larger than a score.
which is funny too because last week's games or this past weekend's games, the spread was 3 of those games were
Like
under a field
goal
goal.
games, yeah.
Under a field goal.
Like the Dallas Seattle game was 2.5, and it ended up being a 2-point game.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what the Indy Houston one was, but obviously Indy blew them out. The Chargers and Baltimore game
That was a
wasn't.
one-score game.
Was it a one-score game?
23-17.
Oh yeah, it was. Huh. All right. Well,
And then Philly Chicago was a 2-point game too.
what was the other one? Which one are we missing?
Philly Green Bay,
No, Green Bay wasn't.
or you know what I meant? Philly Chicago,
Philly, Chicago,
Dallas Seattle,
Dallas, Seattle, Indy, Houston.
Raven. No, we're not missing any. Ravens Chargers.
Oh,
We
okay.
got 'em all.
All right. All right. Well, anyways, Indy, Houston, or Indy, Indy, Kansas City. We're gonna have Andrew Luck against, or Captain Andrew Luck playing against.
By the way, greatest. I mean, if you're all for the Twitter lulls and you enjoyed yourself some faux Pelini back in the day, Captain Andrew Luck is like Captain Andrew Luck is a parody, as if Andrew Luck is writing letters to his mother as if he's like a Civil War captain. It's great.
Yeah, go check it out at
Get
Captain.
yourself some squirrel oil.
Was it at
Captain Andrew Luck. All
Okay.
spelled out. Yep.
Yep. We're gonna have Captain Andrew Luck playing against Pat Mahomes, Indy versus Kansas City
In
I don't know.
KC.
in KC. What are your thoughts on
Hardest
this
place to
one?
play in the league. Colts have been, God, they're dangerous. They're so talented and yet young at the same time. They beat another young and up-and-coming team in Houston, who both of those two teams just rumbled off incredible winning streaks. Well, not necessarily streaks, but stretches of winning football to end the season. They both started pretty and just went on a roll. By the way, the interesting factoid, I don't know if everybody's seen this everywhere, that game is the first time Deshaun Watson has started and finished a game since like his sophomore year of high school. They lost by more than one score.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
I'm not sure if it was his sophomore year, but since high school that he's lost by more than one score.
That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive streak.
Yep. Considering how much football he played at Clemson, too.
That's true, yeah.
I'd love to see Indianapolis, especially. I really like the way they built their team. I think this is the Colts model is the way to do it without the rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. This is the other formula on how to do it. Mm-hmm. Well, it also took Andrew Luck, almost dying and not playing for 2 years for them to stockpile enough talent.
Everybody thought
to
Andrew
get there,
Luck's
but-
career was over. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, by the way, he injured his shoulder again snowboarding right before he signed that extension.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't
That's
know.
right. I forgot about
That
that.
Pat McAfee tidbit. Anywho, that this may be the other way to do it. I really like what Indy's got going. I just don't know that they have enough. I mean, their defense is uber talented. I just don't know if it's enough. Pat Mahomes at home with the benefit of the noise. The noise factor. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm going to pick. If this is like an 8.5 point spread, if I remember correctly, I think I'm going to take Kansas City. I just don't think Indianapolis. It'll be a game. It's just Indianapolis may. 8.5 sounds about right.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well. Dallas, LA Rams.
I hate Dallas.
In LA. I don't know. Look, we rag on Dak Prescott all the time.
Dude, that Rams offense or defense cannot stop anybody who can throw the ball, but good for them. Dak can't.
So it's at the Coliseum. Is this going to be a one possession game at the very least, or is
this is the NFL and the Dallas Cowboys are involved? If it's more than a one possession game, the refs aren't doing their job. Yes, it will be a one possession game because this is the playoffs, and Dallas. They have a very good defense, excellent defense. I would get in a fight whether or not we would have them or the Bears being the better defense. Home field advantage plus Dak can't throw. Plus a plenty uber talented defensive line there with the Rams as well. I think the Rams will win this one, probably 6 or 7 point game.
Is that the next hashtag? Dak can't throw.
Dak no good.
I'm gonna go,
and then you're gonna see the headline this offseason. Dak gets how much money? Because Jerry loves him.
Oh God.
Dak 200 million.
I'm gonna go with the Rams as well, and the other LA team, the Los Angeles Chargers, head out to Foxborough to take on the Patriots.
People in LA didn't even realize they had a team until about 3 weeks ago, and then they discovered they had two.
Chargers have looked really, really good. Going in both instances, going out and winning that game, going across the country to play the Ravens, playoff game
despite
on the road.
Winning 3 more games in the regular season and beating them head to head.
Very true, very true. But this time they're going to go play Tom Brady. Tom Brady isn't the same Tom Brady as he was, obviously, 5 years ago. Is this...
there's a very quick summary and very quick analysis. Darth 30 with 2 weeks to prep, you're not going to beat him. Sorry.
Oh, so it's the Nick Saban thing here.
I think it's more the Nick Saban thing is more the Bill Belichick thing. You don't beat Darth Hoodie with 2 weeks to prep.
At home as well?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, at home, period. I mean, yes, Darth Hoodie has lost some Super Bowls with 2 weeks to prep, but when you only have one, he's got two, you're going to beat him. Sorry.
You know what? I'm going to go with upside here. I'm going to go with Phillip Rivers. Hey, he's got kids, man.
Yeah, loves them kids.
He's got kids, man. Give me the Chargers. Why the hell not?
Good. Yeah, you know what? Good for you.
Why the hell not?
I just am not stupid enough to make kids. Bill Belichick.
Hey, I'm not putting money on it, so I'm okay.
If I was a betting man, which I'm not, that would be one game I would steer clear of.
Finally, we have the fighting Nick Foles against New Orleans Saints.
Christ.
Against Breezes Christ. Yep. Philly versus New Orleans. Who you got?
New Orleans running away.
New Orleans running away.
Yeah. The secondary of the Philadelphia Eagles is a disgrace. Drew Brees, especially with a second prep week, will carve them apart.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to see how long this.
The New Orleans will move the ball and score at will.
Yeah, it's hard to see how much longer this Philadelphia run goes. Simply because, I mean,
they've had, you know what? I'm not going to blame Howie Roseman on the lack of talent in the secondary. Mm-hmm. Everybody back there, but with the exception of Malcolm Jenkins, has died. Everybody just died. So, I mean, you're missing, I think 4 of your top 5 corners. You've got guys starting now that weren't on the roster at the beginning of the year. Craven LeBlanc was, cut by the Lions twice this year, and he's starting at nickel. Come on. The Lions cut him twice.
Hey, did the Eagles though win that trade then with with Golden Tate?
They got what they probably haven't got the consistent production that they expected for a 3rd round pick for an expiring deal. However, in that exact scenario where Golden Tate scored that touchdown is exactly what you got him for.
That's exactly
traffic, extremely strong hands, will always fall forward receiver.
Yep,
it's exactly what you got him for, and it paid off. Because honestly, if you look at the rest of that roster, I don't think anybody else, whether Jordan Matthews, Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, can make that play right there.
No, it
doesn't look like much, but just that tiny little head fake and that ability to have strong hands and fall forward into the end zone is incredibly. It's really unique.
It's not like he he got into the end zone without any trouble or anything. He barely got into the end zone.
You would struggle to find many other receivers in this league that would be able to. To the naked eye, that play doesn't look special. Mm-hmm. But if you know what you're looking at, that is a pretty darn nice play.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Especially the ball didn't hit him in the gut. He had to get it out away from the frame. very nice. I mean but that's what you got him for right there. Those type of catches.
I don't know if Philly wins the trade based off of that. If Philly goes on to
if they win another Super Bowl.
If they win a Super Bowl, if they win another Super Bowl,
if they win another Super Bowl, they could trade. I mean, Howie Roseman could pull Ditka and trade all his picks for Ricky Williams or something. But this next draft, and they would it wouldn't matter because back-to-back Super Bowls, bro.
All right, so you're going with Kansas City, the Rams, the Patriots, and the Saints.
Correct. Wow, I look like such a loser picking all the home teams.
You're going with all the home teams. I'm going with Kansas City, the Rams, the Chargers, and the Saints.
You only one pick different.
Yeah. So I don't know. Should be a good weekend.
Good weekend to watch some foosball.
Yep. Let's see if I can get the music going here.
Come on, you can do it.
I don't know. I'm not hearing anything.
You gotta unmute it, dude. Remember that?
Yeah, I thought I was
on the keyboard.
I thought I was pressing the Let me see. Let me try it again here.
Uh-oh. Can you do it? At this point, you should just cut the video and we should just cut our losses.
No. No, I'm going to do this. Ah!
Was it faded all the way down?
Yeah, but I thought I took care of it, though, when I was trying to do it over here.
It's all good.
Anyways, though, we'll be back again. We'll be back on again next week. I don't think Dorf's going to be here, though. Dorf's going to be out. So
Dorf's going to be on the other side of the country.
Yeah, and it'll probably be me and Sean doing this. Other than that, enjoy the NFL divisional games next weekend.
And the national title game, which is going on, I believe, right now.
Yep, right now. And I don't think there's a score yet.
I don't think it starts for like another 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, they're going to do anything like that. So, anyways, he's Dorf. I'm Adam. This is Blitzcast and Majors TV. We'll see you next time.